Well, hello and welcome to practice today. So we're day 11, and I thought 11 days in, you might enjoy a nice restorative practice. Well, I know that my body feels like it needs that today, so I would really love to share this practice a little bit longer than usual. So you'll need a yoga strap or something that you can come into a beautiful shape called hammock, a yoga bolster, a block, and a blanket for practice. So just set your props up and let's come on in. So with your yoga strap, if you've got one thank you, Scout, that's got a loop on the end, I'm just going to loop that around. And so I've got a nice big open loop shape. And so our opening shape to begin is going to be a really nice passive hamstring stretch. It's called hammock. It's one of my favorites. I'm going to put my blanket to the side. That's my blanket, by the way, Sir Scout. And we will begin. So we're going to start off with the right legs first. Have the buckle midway in the strap, so it's nowhere near your head. And we're going to come and lay on our back with the bolster just there as that nice little support for the head. And we're going to loop that strap at the base of the hairline. You get to drop back into what feels like a really passive, arms-free hamstring stretch. You might start off with the leg just slightly bent to begin. And normally when we do a hamstring stretch, we'll have the hands here and it can be a little bit tense for the arms. But I thought for the purpose of this practice today, we would just start off with a nice passive stretch without using the arms. Just getting the timer. So we're going to be in this shape. Let's be here for a minute to begin. So just taking the first few moments of our class and in this shape to allow a little bit of awareness. And to help lead us into that experience of awareness and being aware that we're aware. Just allow your attention to begin to drop into the breath. Just note that this shape too would be beautiful with the leg inside a door jamb. That definitely works too. And so for me, I'm feeling the stretch right into the belly of the hamstring, right in the middle here. Kind of staying away out of where it connects, the insertion point. And so I'm feeling it from mid hamstring behind the knee. One more minute here. Last couple of breaths here. And of course, you're welcome to stay here as long as you like, or just gently lift the head. And we're going to drop, bend your left leg, take your hips over to the right side of the mat. And now this right foot is going to come over to like a little easy twist. So I've got the cupboard here, which is actually perfect. So taking the strap off from behind my head, And so I'm just going to rest my foot passively there. Now, if that's not available for you, you could always bolster this leg up. You could pop it onto a couple of cushions. And so now there's just a gentle, subtle stretch through the side of the hip here. I'm not letting my body just go floppy into the shape. There's a little press of my right foot into the cupboard. So again, you could do this against a wall too. Not as long in this shape. Just another 30 seconds. And when you're ready, bring your left foot flat to the floor, bring the leg back up through center. And now this right leg's going to drop out to the side. I'm going to place that little block underneath my left hip here. I've got the strap in my hand. And then 1 minute here. Just a minute hold here. So where you can take the energy out of it is to take the strap in the left hand. You can have your right hand underneath your right knee if you need to have that support, or of course have another bolster where the leg is just resting on the bolster. It's another 30 seconds here. And these are really lovely passive stretches of the muscles that connect in and up to the pelvis. So unlike a yin stretch where you're kind of really leaning in to the sensation, here I want you to feel a little more supported in each stretch. And bring that leg back through center. Remove the strap. Just lay your right leg down and stretch out your left leg. And then just do a little sense check. How does that right side feel? For me, it feels a little bit lighter, a little bit freer. A little white and fluffy like the clouds. Okay, we'll move on over to the left side. So loop the strap around the ball of your left foot. Have the buckle about midway. Place the strap at the base of the skull. Oh, this side's a little tighter. And then reposition. Might need to bend the knee. So just reposition that knee or what's happening with your leg being straight. You want your head to rest so you're not overstraining through the back of the neck, so the head is resting down. And where you'll add the extra tension is by straightening to the back of the knee when a muscle feels ready. So 3 minutes we were here, first side. Allowing your awareness again to bring attention to your breathing. Just noticing the breath as it comes into the body now. And then awareness to the breath as it leaves the body now. Just a quiet joy in just that. Awareness of body, awareness of breath. Being consciously aware of being aware. last minute here together in this shape. And when you feel ready, bending up your right foot, lift the hips up over to the left, and then taking that stretch over to the right side. And so I'm just going to rest my foot on top of Scout's bed here. That's it. You might feel a little deeper stretch if you walk your shoulders over to the right side, so you get a bit more of an expansion through the pecs. Scout's bed is about the height of the cupboard, so just a minute here. He too likes the sound of singing bowls. His little head is just draped over the edge of his bed. Like his head is so heavy. Another 30 seconds or so here. Just taking that last full breath in. Soft exhale, sigh out. Little bend through that knee and slow motion. Bring the body back into the middle of your mat. And then take that leg out to the left side. Take the strap into your right hand. Maybe you have a block underneath your right knee, which is not a bad idea for me. And then let that left leg just do its thing. It is beautiful at times to have a wall or a cupboard for the foot to rest on, so then you can completely take out any of the efforting. And in any restorative practice, unlike yin, where we want to feel the stretch to a certain degree, in restorative, we want the stretch to feel supported. So you're not kind of hanging in the tissues here. It almost feels like, as one of my yoga teachers, the late Maria Kirsten, said, it's like, let's support the body from the earth up. Feel like the earth is rising up to hold and to support you. And that's actually a really nice concept or thought. Let yourself be held by the props and the support around you. Let your body be held and nourished, so that your nervous system can focus on resting and digesting rather than fighting and running away. And then to come out of this one, right foot comes flat to the floor. Use the strap as the muscle to bring the leg back through center. Lay both legs down and just take a little rebound. Slow motion when you're ready. Bring soles of feet to mat. And then roll on over to a side and make your way on up. So I'm going to move into a really nice upper back opener. And this little series is going to be in this one for about 10 minutes, about 6 to 8 minutes. And so you'll need a thinnish sort of blanket. And if you open it out into a rectangular sort of shape, I folded that very well. Those of you that know me, it's all about blanket fold. And that's important, especially in restorative, because we do use the blankets a lot in the practice, and there's nothing worse than laying on a blanket roll and it's full of wrinkles. So channel your inner origami artist here. So I've got my tassels, and so what I'm going to do is roll tassels inwards in my little blanket roll. So just move that to the side, and for the purpose of my head, I'm going to grab this cushion. Awesome. All right, so from here, let's start off with the blanket at the upper thoracic. So if you kind of just find your armpit, and then if you were to put on a heart rate monitor or kind of wraps around where the bar line is, or a singlet top, the top of it, so it's kind of like bust height. You're going to place the blanket in that position. So come down onto your back, and your bolster could slide underneath your knees, which is really kind of nice. And then I've got my cushion for my head, and that bolster's there. You want your arms to be free, so the arms can lay out beside you. And it's just enough height to give you this gentle lift through the front of the ribs, the front body. A gentle little press in between the shoulder blades and across that shoulder blade girdle area. Oh, and in this shape, I invite you to take some really big, beautiful, big breaths. So big diaphragmatic breaths here. So really just fill the container of your lungs and deep down into this space where there's that little V shape from the belly to the tucks under the ribs to the sternum. 2 minutes here. So really inviting this fullness and openness of the breath. The deeper that you can breathe and almost feel like your back ribs are pressing into that bolster, the more openness and natural ability of stretch you'll feel. The goal here is to be able to breathe a little deeper. To feel a little more open through the whole torso. Expansive breathing. And the intention to just allow your body to be here. Allowing the allowing. Last couple of breaths here. For many, this position can be one one of the hardest to allow the body to open and soften into. So this allowing to just be in what you feel. Bring the soles of your feet to your bolster, lift your hips, and now move that blanket down to the bottom rib now. So just about a blanket's width lower. So now you're at bottom rib. And 2 minutes here. The breath be smooth and steady. Allow the awareness of breath to be full and open. Allowing the allowing. When you're ready, slow motion, bring the soles of your feet back to your bolster. Just lift the hips and now slide the blanket roll to the natural curve of your lower back. It's just above the pelvis and below the ribs. And then just nestle that blanket to where it feels the most comfortable and easeful. The legs can come back again over the bolster. Hands can rest on the belly, or again, they could slide underneath that blanket, and like you're just kind of giving your body a little hug here, or rest them on the top. Actually, it feels nicer. 2 minutes. Notice what you notice in your upper back. Does this part of your body feel more awake? What is the sensation that you feel? Whatever the sensation that you feel, if it feels like release, let it happen. If it feels like comfort, let the comfort be there. If it feels restful, continue to rest. Let yourself feel supported and held. Last few breaths here. And then the slowest of motion, bringing soles of feet back to the floor. Little lift up of the hips and just push the blanket away and lay your body back down. Oh, noticing how does the back body feel now? How does the nervous system feel? How does rest feel in your body now? And then the slowest of motion, bring soles of feet back flat to the floor. A little lift of the hips to the side as you slow motion roll to your side. Using the strength of your arms to bring your way on up to seat. I'm going to come and find a dragonfly shape now. So that's a nice double leg stretch of the inner seams. And for this one, a bolster in between the legs will be quite nice. Or you could rest your forehead on a chair if that's the height that you need. And for me here, I'm just going to place the bolster to the width of what my legs feel comfortable, the cushion into my belly, and then maybe my hands will rest on the block. And in this shape, feeling nicely supported through my front body with my bolster and my cushion. So I'm not hanging and putting too much stress into my inner seam, but definitely still getting that nice little inner thigh stretch. That's right, Scotty. So let the breath be smooth and steady. Letting your breath be smooth and steady, calm, balanced, and at ease. 3 minutes. Drop into that loving awareness and presence of your body. Loving awareness and presence of your body just as it is. So here we have a stretch that might be presenting maybe 40%, or if you were to put a percentage on it, about 4 out of 10 in terms of sensation. So for me, there's a gentle hum of stretch in the inner seams. With these cushions supporting my front body, there's minimal strain on the lower back, because the target area of release primarily is the inner seams, the inner thighs. last couple of breaths here. And then slow motion, half speed if you can, press your body on up. Sometimes that's all we need, hey? It's just that subtlety of stretch in the body. Okay, we're going to take a supine variation of pigeon. So we'll come onto our backs and the more restorative variation of said shape. And have your cushion close to one side because we'll use that for our twist. And where we'll go to now is blankets underneath my head. I might just need to rub it up. When you're laying your head down, we want to make sure that your chin is slightly tucked down and that we're not over arching through the chin or exposing through the throat. And I remember one of my teachers that used to teach for me, Kathy, she always used to say that that was an important piece about restorative, is that we want to keep the body in this state of rest and digest. And I don't know about you, but the moment I throw my head back, I get this pinching in the back of my neck. And your vagus nerve, one of the connection points at the base of the brain, is just here. And so when we push the head back, it kind of makes sense why I feel a little bit vulnerable. And vulnerable in a way is, A, it's uncomfortable, but yeah, it just doesn't feel right. Anyway, so having your blanket or your cushion high enough so when I'm lying here, I've almost got like a little double chin. It's a good way to kind of call it out. So I'm going to just take a little passive pigeon. So here, my right hand is just gently resting on the outside of my right knee, and I'm definitely getting a stretch in that right hip. Now, of course, if you're really super flexible, you're welcome to lift this foot up, place it up on the wall. But again, think of what the intention is here. The intention is to let the outer surface of the body relax, to let the nervous system be in a state of rest rather than tensile, kind of, I've got to get that sensation. So just allowing the body to just be in a restful pigeon shape. And I know for some of us that can be like, I just totally don't want to do that. But sometimes we just need to let the body do what the body knows what to do. So I've just pushed my bolster away a little bit further. And, I don't want to stress the tissues around my hip. So I think often at times I'm really surprised at when I'm not overstretching and I'm not working in that kind of push and pull in the body, but when I'm working in this state of just allowing my body to be in a shape that is passive rather than not aggressive, but assertive. There's this gentle allowing of the muscles around my hip and around your hips to just be at ease. Allowing them to just be. To remove this striving and the goal of flexibility, but more about this goal of just being. Let the sacrum feel heavy to the floor. You feel ready. Just going to press that left foot into the mat. Move the hips over to the left a little, and then just drape the legs over to the right. Let your upper body roll onto your right side a little too. So it's a really gentle twist here. Your arms could stretch out, but then we have this top arm that is just hanging in space. So ideally, if that's what you're kind of feeling that you'd like, grab yourself another cushion. So your left arm is not dangling in space, it's supported. So I've got my yoga block there. But a blanket cushion ideally would be perfect. So I'm not having to strain in the body. The body again is feeling supported. Just 3 rounds of breath here. Slow motion, bringing the body back through center. Gentle little pause. Ah. Just move my cushion to the other side so that's ready, and then left leg. One of the things I love about a restorative practice is there is no striving. Many of us, well, most of us spend days at work or whatever our vocation is, striving to meet the deadline, striving to attain that outcome, striving to get better grades, to make that sale. In the restorative practice, we remove the need for an outcome. We remove the desire to move towards an outcome. This practice teaches us to just be in the body and to be in support and softness, stillness, to be held, to be breathed, and to be. When you're ready, and lift those hips on up. Take them to the right-hand side, and then drop your left thigh, leg onto the blanket, sorry, the cushion, and then your right arm opens on out. Oh my goodness, what a difference. And for me, I instantly went into the comparisons, one side to the other. The last few breaths here. And then slow motion once more, coming back through center. Put your legs out long and come on up using your hands. And we're going to come and place that cushion from your top of your hips to the bottom of your ribs. And then come into a little supported pontoon. This shape also fondly known as wave. As you breathe in and out, picture the breath moving through your body like a wave drawing in and out from shore. Ever so gently start to bring your awareness back. Awareness back to your physical form. Breathe a little deeper. And as the breath starts to deepen, maybe a little bit of movement starts to make its way into your body, maybe a full body stretch. And then slow motion, a little roll on over to your right side. And I'm gonna up that cushion underneath my back. And pressing your hand into the floor. Gently peel your way on up. Close our practice together. Just bring those hands just ever so lightly to your chest. And take a full breath in. And a soft breath out. And a gentle bow to yourself in gratitude for making the time today. And gratitude for taking this time to be in your body and be with your breath and to connect a little bit deeper to yourself. Namaste. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Day 11, third of the way here. Well done. Hope you're feeling fabulous. And now, calm, balanced, and at ease.